everybody. So here's another example of how we can do a rooster. This is a much more simplified version, and so this is a better lesson for my younger students. If the kindergartners, first graders, second graders want to try this, basically we're breaking down our rooster into some real basic shapes. And then we're going to go back and add some fun patterns and differentiate some different colors. And basically this guy is just made with Crayola markers. So as I'm looking at my reference photo, I always think it's so fun that the roosters have this tiny head. So I'm just going to draw a real tiny circle. Then I'm going to come down, and it's almost as if I'm making a triangle and then an oval for his body. Okay, so I'm going to make a circle. And remember, we like to use whisper lines until we decide which lines we want. So a lot of times I will just lightly sketch with those whisper lines, and then I'll go back over it in a minute. Okay, so what I've done is I made my circle, and now I made two lines coming down on either side at an angle. It's as if they would make like a triangle if they were to keep going. And now I'm going to do this big half circle. Okay, so now I've got the basic shape of my rooster, and inside that I can do another half circle, and that's going to be its wing. Now since I'm going to add some different patterns, I'm going to draw another half circle. So now I've got these 3 half circles, and that gives me space that I can go back and make some patterns. Now at the bottom here, I'm going to do a couple of half circles for the legs, just 2 lines, and then for those bird legs, I like to have one going out on one side, one going kind of as if that toe is in the back, and then one kind of off to the side a little bit. Okay? And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of these big swirls for the tail. I like to do about 3 of them. And then I'm going to just draw a line right across here to differentiate the neck from the body. All right, now I'm going to make a little triangle, and I'm going to add a circle with a circle inside. And a couple little, it's almost like I made 2 M's side by side for the comb at the top of his head. And now here at the bottom, I'm just going to add this big sort of rounded shape. Okay, and that's how you draw a very simple rooster. Okay, now that we have used basic shapes to make a rooster with a circle, these 2 lines coming down, and then remember we have lots of half circles there. Now I'm going to use my markers, and I'm going to just basically color in all of those shapes, but I'm going to try to think about how I could make him special by giving him some different patterns. So I'll start out, I'm just going to color his head orange. And now notice, I'm going to show you the example, or the one that I did earlier. Notice that I went over all of my lines in black. When I'm using marker, I'll usually save that to the last part because I find that sometimes my colors will smear with the black. So I'll often go back and color that in, outline later. All right, so next I'm going to fill in that little swirl under his head, his comb up here with just these, remember they're almost like little M's side by side. And now I'm going to give him a yellow neck. And the reason why I'm choosing yellow here is because I want to give him a pattern that you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and color this in yellow. And then the other thing I'm going to do is color in part of his wing in yellow. So now those colors are sort of, because I'm repeating colors, it's interesting in art by doing that, what happens is it sort of makes the person's eye move around in the picture. All right, now I'm going to take a moment and just color in this body with a bright purple. Do you guys ever do that where you outline the part that you're coloring and then go back and color in the white space in between? Sometimes I find that it helps me get just a more accurate and quicker shading in of that area. Okay, now for the bottom, I'm going to add the yellow again for his legs down here. And let's do, how about a pink for the inside? Now, I think what I'll do is fluctuate with these little swirls as his tail and give him some different curls coming off here. And now what I'm going to want to do is go back and add some different textures. So I'm going to add a pattern of just sort of a U repeating itself here on his neck. And I might choose a color like, oh, let's use green this time. And I can do some little circles all the way around. And then I'm going to go back and add some blue stripes here. And now all I have to do is give him either a yellow or an orange beak. I'm going to give him a yellow beak and a yellow eye there. Okay, and now I'm ready to go over him in black. So I'm just going to go over all of my lines. And now I'm going quickly to give you guys time so you can get working on your drawings. But you take your time. Also, you don't have to use marker. If you'd rather color it in with watercolor paints or with crayon, it's kind of fun to see how these pictures look different based on the medium we use. All right, so there we go. That is a very simple rooster made out of simple shapes but with a ton of personality. And what's fun to do, what I like to do, is do several. Now see if I can do the same thing again but make him completely different with different patterns. And maybe I could even go back and add pastels on top, which if you've watched some of my other lessons, you know I always love using these oil pastels because they come out really bright on top of other materials like this watercolor. And so I can always go back and add some different patterns with those. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing what you do, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.